Today we are going to discuss the NCERT exercise of chapter 2 class 12 physics. So the first question is question number 2.1. According to the question, two charges 5 into 10 to the power minus 8 coulomb and minus 3 into 10 to the power minus 8 coulomb are located 16 centimeter apart. So the magnitude of first charge is 5 into 10 to the power minus 8 coulomb and the magnitude of charge Q2 is minus 3 into 10 to the power minus 8 coulomb. Both the charges are separated to distance 16 centimeter. So we convert centimeter in meter, that is 0.16 meter. Now first we draw the diagram. So we represent the situation according to the diagram. This is point A, this is point B. At point A we have assumed charge Q1 and at point B we assumed the charge of magnitude Q2. Now these charges are separated to 16 centimeter or 0.16 meter distance apart. At what points on the line joining the two charges is the electric potential 0? So we have to find the point where the electric potential due to the given system of charges is 0. So I assume that that point is M. So the distance of point M from A, let us take it is x. So the remaining distance is 0.16 minus x. Now electric potential is a scalar quantity. So we can add or find the sum of the total potential algebraically. As we know that electric potential is a scalar quantity. So for scalar quantities we can do algebraic sum. So total potential at point M is equal to 0. That is the sum of potential due to first charge Q1 and potential due to second charge Q2. Now we know the formula of potential. The formula of potential is KQ by R. We use the formula in the given equation. Now put the value of V1, that is KQ1 by value of R is X, plus V2, that is KQ2 by 0.16 minus X as shown in the diagram. Now KQ1 by X is equal to minus KQ2 divided by 0.16 minus X. K cancel out K. Now we are going to do cross multiplication. So when we do cross multiplication like this, it is Q1 0.16 minus X is equal to minus Q2 into X. Now put the value of Q1 and Q2. So the value of Q1 is 5 into 10 to the power minus 8. 5 into 10 to the power minus 8. And the value of Q2 is minus 3 into 10 to the power minus 8 into X. So 10 to the power minus 8 cancel to the 10 to the power minus 8. So 5 into 0.16 minus 5x equal to minus minus plus 3x. Now it is 0.8 minus 5x equal to 3x. So 0.8 is equal to 8x. Now the value of x is 0.1 meter. So this is the value of x. This is the distance of point M from the charge Q1. Now the next question is 2.2. According to the question, a regular hexagon of side 10 centimeter has a charge 5 microcoulomb at each of its vertices. So I convert microcoulomb into coulomb by the help of multiplication factor 10 to the power minus 6. Now calculate the potential at the center of the hexagon. So first we draw a regular hexagon like this. Now I name the vertices A, B, C, D, E and at last F. O is the center of the regular hexagon where we have to calculate the electric potential. So triangle OEF, triangle OAF, triangle OAB, all the triangles behaves like an equilateral triangle. So it means all the sides of equilateral triangle are equal. So it means, so triangle OEF, OAB, OAC, all the triangles behaves like equilateral triangle. Therefore, OF is equal to OE is equal to EF. It means all are equal to 10 centimeter, or I can write it as 0.1 meter. Now the total potential at the center is potential due to the charge at point A plus potential due to charge at point B, C, D, E and at last F. As we know that the magnitude of charge is equal, the distance is equal, so the potential due to each charge at the center will be equal. So I can write here as 6 times of KQ by R. Now 6 into 9 into 10 to the power 9 and the magnitude of charge is 5 into 10 to the power minus 6 divided by R. What is R? R is 0.1 meter. Now we are going to solve it. 9 6 are 54 into 5 into 10 to the power 9 minus 6 plus 1. So it is 5 4s are 20, 27 into 10 to the power 9 plus 1 10 minus 6 4. So it is 2.7 into 10 to the power 6 volt. So this is the value of electric potential at the center of the regular hexagon. Is it clear? Okay, now next question is question number 2.3. So let's start to solve question number 2.3. In question number 2.3, two charges 2 microcoulomb and minus 2 microcoulomb are placed at point A and B 6 centimeter apart. So first we separate the two charges A and B 6 centimeter apart. The magnitude of charge at point A is equal to 2 microcoulomb, that is 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb, and the magnitude of charge at B is minus 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb. So you should pay attention here. There are two charges. One is 2 microcoulomb and the second one is minus 2 microcoulomb. Both the charges have the same magnitude, but the polarity is different or opposite. So this arrangement behaves like an electric dipole. This arrangement behaves like an electric dipole because according to the definition, electric dipole is an arrangement in which two equal and opposite charges are separated to certain distance. So the dipole length is, that is 6 centimeter. Now first part of the question is identify an equipotential surface of the system. We have to identify the equipotential surface of the system. So first part, so the plane, answer is the plane perpendicular to the dipole AB and passing through midpoint of the given dipole behaves like an equipotential surface. As in the derivation we also derived the relation that on the equatorial line of the electric dipole the electric potential is always zero. So the plane perpendicular to the dipole AB and passing through midpoint of the given dipole behaves like an equipotential surface. So this is the first part. Now the second part of the question is, what is the direction of electric field at every point on this surface? As we know that the electric field lines are always originates from positive charge and terminates to negative charge, and it is also the property of the equipotential surface that the electric field lines are always normal to the equipotential surface. So the direction of electric field lines are normal to the equipotential surface, and moves from A to B. So this is the direction of electric field lines. So in this question, in first part we identified the equipotential surface due to the given dipole and the direction of electric field lines on the equipotential surface. Now we have completed 3 questions. Now the next question is question number 2.4. So this is the question 2.4. So in question number 2.4, a spherical conductor of radius 12 centimeter. There is a spherical conductor of radius 12 centimeter, that is 0.12 meter, has a charge of 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 7 coulomb distributed uniformly on its surface. What is the electric field inside the sphere? First I am going to draw the sphere. So this is the sphere and this is the center of the sphere. R is the radius of the sphere. Now this amount of charge 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 7 is distributed uniformly over the entire surface of the conducting sphere, and it is the property of the conductor also that the charge always uniformly distributed and resides on the surface of the spherical conductor. Therefore, what is the net amount of charge inside the spherical conductor? The net amount of charge inside the spherical conductor is zero, because on the spherical conductor all the charge resides on the surface of the conductor according to the property of conductor. So if net charge inside the conductor, spherical conductor, is 0, therefore electric field is also equal to 0, because flux is equal to integral of closed surface integral of E dot ds. And from the definition of electric flux, from the definition of Gauss theorem, phi is equal to q in enclosed divided by epsilon naught is equal to closed surface integral of E dot ds. Therefore, if q inside is 0, then closed surface integral of electric field is also 0. Therefore, the net electric field inside the sphere is 0. So this is the solution of first part of question 2.4. Now we are going to solve question number 2.4 second part, that is B part. Just outside the sphere. If it is just outside the sphere, it means the value of small r is approximately equal to capital R. Now what is the formula of electric field? E is equal to k q by r square. Now E is equal to k, 9 into 10 to the power 9. The magnitude of charge is 1.6, 10 to the power minus 7, and divided by radius. Radius is 12 centimeter, that is 12 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter square. Now we solve it. E is equal to 9 into 1.6, that is 144. So that it is 14.4 multiply by 10 to the power 2. Now 12 का square is 144, 10 to the power minus 4. Now E is equal to 144 divided by 144 into 10 की power 2 plus 4 minus 1. We remove the decimal point. So E is equal to 10 to the power 4 plus 2 6 minus 1 is 5. That is 10 to the power 5 Newton per Coulomb. This is the electric field just outside the spherical conductor. So by this method we can calculate the value of electric field. Now C part of the question. It is at a point 18 centimeter from the center of the sphere. Now the value of R is 18 centimeter or 18 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter. So this is our original sphere whose radius is small r. Now we have to calculate the value of electric field at 18 centimeter away. Now the radius of this sphere is taken as capital R. Therefore, we use capital R instead of small r according to the result of derivation application of Gauss theorem. So E is equal to k q by capital R square. Now put the values. E is equal to k 9 into 10 to the power 9. Q is, what is the value of Q? The value of Q is 1.6. 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 7 divided by R. What is R? 18 into 10 to the power minus 2 square. Now E is equal to 16 nines are 144, so it is 14.4, or I can write it as 144 into 10 to the power 9 minus 7 minus 1. Minus 1 for removing the decimal from 1.6. Now 18 square is 324, multiply by 10 to the power minus 4. Now E is equal to 144 divided by 324, multiply by 10 to the power 7, minus 7 and minus 1 is minus 8. So 9 minus 8 is 1, minus 4. When moved to the numerator it will be plus 4. Now E is equal to 144 divided by 324 into 10 to the power 5. Now we cancel out it. 2 sevens are 14, 2 twos are 4, 2 six are 12, 2 ones are 2, 2 six are 12, 2 twos are 4. Now it is 36. Now 9 fours are 36, 9 nines are 81. So E is equal to 4 upon 9 into 10 to the power 5. Now we are going to divide 4 by 9. So it is 0.9 fours are 36. So the result is 0.44. E is equal to 0.44 into 10 to the power 5. So E is question number 2.5. A parallel plate capacitor. So there is a parallel plate capacitor. This is the first plate and this is the second plate. Plate A and plate B. With air between the plates has a capacitance of 8 picofarad, that is 8 into 10 to the power minus 12 farad. Right now there is air, and let us take the separation between the plates is small d. What will be the capacitance if the distance between the plates is reduced to by half, that is d by 2, and the space between them is filled with a distance of dielectric constant, that is 6. So we have to calculate the new capacitance. As we know the formula of the capacitance when dielectric substance is filled with between the parallel plates of capacitor, C is equal to Kc naught. But in this case we are also reducing the separation between the plates. So it is K, C naught is epsilon naught A by D dash. It will be epsilon naught A by D dash. So C is equal to K epsilon naught A by, put the value of D dash, that is D by 2. Now we can write it as C is equal to 2K epsilon naught A by D. Now C is equal to 2. What is the value of K? K is 6. It is not Coulomb constant, it is dielectric constant. 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12, or no need to put this value because we have the value of C naught. We have the value of C naught because this can be used as C naught, and the value of C naught in the question is 8 into 10 to the power minus 12 farad. So write here 8 into 10 to the power minus 12 farad. Now C is equal to 2 6 are 12, 12 8 are 96 into 10 to the power minus 12 farad, or you can write it as 96 picofarad. So this is the value of capacitance when the distance between the plates of the capacitor is reduced to half and also filled with a dielectric substance of dielectric constant 6. So this is question number 2.5. Now we are going to solve the next question. The next question is question number 2.6. In question number 2.6, it is from the topic capacitance. It is series combination of capacitors. Now question number 2.6. 3 capacitors, each of capacitance 9 picofarad. There are 3 capacitors. Capacitor number 1 having capacitance C1, another capacitor is C2, and third capacitor having capacitance C3 are connected in series. What is the total capacitance of the combination? So the value of C1 C2 and C3 are equal, that is 9 picofarad. So the formula of capacitance in series is 1 by Cs equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. So 1 by Cs is equal to 1 by 9 plus 1 by 9 plus 1 by 9. So after solving this we get 3 by 9. So 3 3s are 9. Now the result is equivalent capacitance in series is 3 picofarad. So this is the result. Now the second part of the question is, what is the potential difference across each capacitor if the combination is connected to 120 volt supply? If we connect the total arrangement, if we connect the given arrangement by a source of 120 volt supply, then what is the potential difference across each capacitor? As we know that in series, amount of charge flow is same across each capacitor, current is also same, but the potential difference across each capacitor will be different. But in this case, all the capacitors are having the same capacitance, so it means the given potential difference or given voltage is distributed into 3 equal parts. So the potential difference across each capacitor is 120 by 3, that is 40 volt. So potential difference across each capacitor will be 40 volt. Now the next question is question number 2.7. In 2.6 we discussed the series arrangement or series combination, but in question number 2.7 there is parallel arrangement. In question number 2.7, 3 capacitors of capacitance is 2 picofarad, 3 picofarad and third one is 4 picofarad are connected in parallel. So this is the first capacitor, it is the second one and third one. So we connected all the 3 capacitors in parallel combinations C1, C2, C3. Now in the first part we have to calculate the total capacitance of the combination. So we know the formula of equivalent capacitance in parallel combination, that is C1 plus C2 plus C3. Now the value of C1 is 2 plus 3 plus 4. So it is 4 plus 3, 7 plus 2, 9. 9 picofarad is the equivalent capacitance in the given parallel combination. Now in second part, determine the charge on each capacitor if the combination is connected to 100 volt supply. Now we are going to connect the given arrangement to 100 volt supply like this. Now we have to calculate the total charge on each capacitor. Okay, in second part we have to calculate the charge on each capacitor. So we know that in parallel combination the potential difference across each capacitor is same and the value of capacitance is given. So the formula of charge is Q, that is equal to C into V, capacitance multiplied by potential. So Q1 is equal to C1 into V, that is Q1 is equal to C1. C1 is 2, picofarad is 10 to the power minus 12 farad में convert करने के लिए, and the value of potential is 100. So we can write it as 2 into 10 to the power minus 10 coulomb. Similarly, we can calculate the value of charge Q2 and value of charge Q3. Now the capacitance of C2 capacitor is 3 into 10 to the power minus 12 multiply by 100. So it is 3 into 10 to the power minus 10 coulomb. Similarly, it is 4 into 10 to the power minus 10 coulomb. So these are the values of charge across each capacitor. So this is question number 2.7. Now question number 2.8. In a parallel plate capacitor with air between the plates. This is question number 2.8. In parallel plate capacitor with air between the plates, each plate has an area, that is 6 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter square, and the distance between the plates is 3 millimeter. So it is 3 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter. Calculate the capacitance of the capacitor. So you have to calculate the capacitance. Okay, in the first part we have to calculate the capacitance. In the second part we connected the capacitor with 100 volt supply, and then what is the charge on each plate of the capacitor. Then we have to calculate the value of charge. But first we need to calculate the capacitance of the capacitor. So C is equal to epsilon naught A by D. C is equal to 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12. Area of plate is 6 into 10 to the power minus 3 divided by D. D is 3 into 10 to the power minus 3. Now we solve it. 3 2s are 6, 2 5s are 10, 2 8s are 16, 117, then again 17.70. So 17.70 into 10 to the power minus 12 minus 3 plus 3. So C is equal to 17.70 into 10 to the power minus 12 farad, or C is equal to 17.7 picofarad, और C is equal to 18 picofarad. हम उसको राउंड ऑफ भी कर सकते हैं. आफ्टर राउंडिंग ऑफ इट इज 18 picofarad. Now we have to calculate the value of charge. Now what is the value of charge? So the voltage supply is 100 volt. Q is equal to C into V. Q is equal to C is 18 picofarad, that is 10 to the power minus 12 farad. V is 100 volt. So value of charge is 18 into 10 to the power minus 10 coulomb. This is the amount of charge on each plate of the capacitor. So in today's video lecture we have completed 8 numericals from NCERT exercise chapter 2. You can do these numericals